Sri Gurubhyo Namaha. Welcome to our 52nd Saturday online Kashmir Cultural Heritage Awareness Series. Yes, we are completing our first year today, started August 15, 2021, and inaugurated by Padma Bhushan Dr. Nagaswamy and Madam Garyali IAS in the presence of His Holiness on August 15, 2021. We are delighted having Sri Ravinder Pandita ji giving updates on Ma Sharda. Before that, let's start with the prayer song. We are also very pleased Srimati Jayasri Jayaramakrishnan is joining us for prayer today. She has been learning, teaching, and performing for the last 25 years. She started her initial learning from her mother and from Musri Subramania Iyer. She is a grade B artist of All India Radio. She has given performances at Kanchi Shankara Mutt during the Chaturmasya period since 2006, including this year, which was like 10 days ago. And she also performs regularly in AAR and Doordarshan, and most famous Chennai December Music Festival, the all leading Mylapore Shabha. She has been a judge for music competitions in various schools and colleges. Over to you, Jayashree Jayaramakrishnan.
कलावती कमलासन युवती कलावती कमलासन युवती कलावती कमलासन युवती कलावती कमला सनयुवती कल्याणं करयतु सरस्वती कलावती कमला सनयुवती कल्याणं करयतु सरस्वती कलावती बला बल मंत्रार्न रूपिणी बला बल मंत्रार्न रूपिणी भारती मातृक शरीरिणी बला बल मंत्रार्न रूपिणी भारती मातृक शरीरिणी मलाळि विदालिनी वाग्वाणी मलाळि विदालिनी वाग्वाणी मधुकरवेणी वीणावाणी कलावती कमला सनयुवती कल्याणं करयतु सरस्वती कलावती शरज्योत्स्ना शुभ्रकार शशिवदना काश्मीर विहार सरज्योत्स्ना शुभ्रकार शशिवदना काश्मीर विहार वर शारदा पंच कुशधरा वर शारदा पर कुशधरा Sharda Para Kushadara Varadha Bhaya Pasha Pustaka Karavara Sharada Para Kushadara Varadha Abhaya Pasha Pustagara Surachita Pada Padambuja Supana Surachita Padambuja Shobana Sweda Pankajasana Suradana Surachita Padambuja Shobana Sweda Pankajasana Suradana Purari Guru Guga Hridaya Ranjani Murari Sushada Niranjani Purari Guru Guga Hridaya Ranjani Murari Sushada Niranjani Kalavati Kamala Sanayuvati Kalyanam Karayatu Saraswati Kalavati.
That was really wonderful. Thank you for that rendition. It was almost like a mini concert. Thank you very much. And we are so blessed. And we look forward to seeing you more in our program. Thank you,
Sure,
guest.
sure.
Today's lecture will be the continuation of Sri Ravindra Pandita. Some time ago, Ravindra Pandita ji, who is also watching our program, sent me a message saying we have to go for schedule 2 regarding construction of Sharda Temple LOC, Teetwal. And he also added, in the wake of Rajnath Singh's recent statement on Sharda. And I think he will explain that more during his lecture. We offer our namaskaram to His Holiness Shankara Vijayendra Saraswati Swamigal and thank Kanchi Mutt for our Kashmir initiative series. Kanchi Mutt has always been in the forefront, modestly working with the sole aim of national integration, spiritual enlightenment, and preserving the uniqueness of Kashmir, as Kashmir is our cultural heritage. We are very pleased to have Sri Ravindra Pandita ji joining us on our first anniversary today. Ravindra ji needs no introduction. He initiated Save Sharda Mission and made a presentation in our series on January 29th. If you are joining today or watching this later, please see his first presentation for background information on his project. This is what others say about Ravindra ji. Ravindra Pandita ji is doing a great job at Teetwal, Kashmir, constructing Sharda temple just across original temple POK. This is from one of our speakers who appeared. The other speaker, Dr. Archana Kokru from United States, says Ravindra ji is doing a immense job in regards to reconstruction of Sharda Devi temple and restarting the Yatra to Teetwal in POK and beyond, maybe one day. Please give him my greetings. As promised, Ravindra ji is joining us to give updates. I'm sure many more to come and Yatra details to us. A few more points, Ravindra ji. I've been in touch with so many Kashmiri Hindus, as you have seen. We have covered 52, and Hindus and Muslims too. So I have questions later on, which I gathered that will be discussed later on after your presentation. I hope it will be okay with you. And now handing over to you, Ravindra Pandita ji.
Namaskar, Jai Sharda, and thank you very much for inviting me once again on a very noble mission that's very dear to my heart, very close to heart of every Sanatani, particularly the Kashmiri Hindus and J&K Hindus, who were much associated before partition for the Sharda Yatra. And while I say so, it was Swami Nandlal ji who was, at Sharda Peeth till 1948, December 1948, the last saint to manage that. So Swami Nandlal ji was a Kashmiri saint. His full name was Swami Nandlal ji, called from Srinagar. So that is the inspiration. He is my guru. That's where I started. And today's topic is more focused on what we are constructing and rebuilding and constructing that part of the heritage which was burned down in 1947 during partition and the tribal war, later on a proxy war unleashed by Pakistan. So we are talking and focusing on that. So that way, this second part becomes more important. It's not theoretical and history part of it only. It's something practical which we are doing at ground now, ground zero. So how it started, for the last 5 6 years during this mission, what I am doing in the last 2 decades, I could see that there were a few 4 5 traditional routes of going to Sharda Peeth for J&K Hindus, especially under the Maharaja rule, under the Dogra rule. So primarily it is the North Kashmir belt and the routes which are in North Kashmir. So we have at least 4 major, traditional routes of which we should definitely make a point. Otherwise, there are numerous where people used to travel through shortcuts and reach Sharda Peeth for the yatra. But the prominent ones are definitely the Lidharvan Jumagadh route, one in Keran, and one in Teetwal side, and one is in Gurez around Bandipura. So the people of North Kashmir would gather around here, and the main base camp would be at Tikar. It's that place in Kupwada where Swamiji migrated in 1948 after the Kabaili raid. And as I recall and I refresh your memories, Swamiji had a lot of Muslim followers around, which we call POK right now. The Sharda Peeth is in Shardi village. We have a district which is renamed right now. It is Neelam district, which has 2 tehsils. One is Atmakam and one is Shardi. So he had a lot of followers, and those followers asked him that since the position and the environment is not so nice, they would not like that his reverence goes off or something happens around. So in 1948, he was requested to travel, and he migrated from Sharda Peeth to Tikkar in Kupwara. So Tikkar used to be the base camp where a lot of people from Kashi, from all over parts of India, from Muzaffarabad those days, from Faisalabad, Lalpur. Why I am talking of Faisalabad here? It was called Lalpur earlier because Swami Nandlal ji's guru was Swami Lalji. He hailed from Lalpur, which is now Faisalabad. So he used to come on elephants, and that would be a very big troop coming down towards, erstwhile Muzaffarabad division, and they would travel via Chilhana to Teetwal. So Teetwal is one of the routes. I said 4 5 routes, but this is one of the routes where we had official Chadi Mubarak. What is Chadi Mubarak? Chadi Mubarak is carrying of the holy mace by sadhus and babajis to the Peetham. Now, Chadi Mubarak has a relevance. 2 days back, yesterday only, we finished Amarnath Yatra. The official route of Amarnath Yatra is via Pahalgam, where Dashnami Akhada in Srinagar, Dipendra Giri and other sadhus, they take Chadi Mubarak via Pahalgam route. Otherwise, we have unofficial routes like Baltal also. So those are shortcuts, not the official. So out of these 4 5 traditional routes to Sharda Peeth, we used to have Teetwal as the official route of Chadi Mubarak, and it was inhabited by a special section of people. They were not Kashmiri Pandits primarily. They were, we can call them business class in Hindus. They were called Khatris. So Lala Mela Ram would be a prominent person out there as a forest lessee and a contractor. The one who donated 1 lakh rupees, one Shri Kashmir's medical institute was started in Srinagar, is the first person to donate such a huge amount. So that was his legacy. And how it goes, We traveled to Keran. Keran is the shortest to Sharda, only 20 kilometers. We are away. Keran is one of the villages on our side of LOC, which bears the same name across also. So Keran village is divided exactly into two. So we have a Keran out in POK also, we have a Keran out in our Kashmir also. So that is the shortest. We traveled there 26th August 2020. We did the annual Sharda Yatra. Annual Sharda Yatra, I will specify here, is the date when we used to go annually pre-partition to Sharda Yatra, besides many other times. But the main annual Yatra would be Bhadra Mas Shukla Paksh Ashtami. So that's a recorded date. This year, Bhadramas Shukla Paksh Ashtami will be on 4th of September, and we'll be doing this annual Yatra again as we have been doing for 4 or 5 years continuously on LOC now. Now 2020, Kiran, I did the puja first time in 72 years on the banks of river Kishan Ganga, which is so auspicious. I said earlier also, Kishan Ganga, Madhumati, and Surasti. These are the three rivers. We have a conference over there in POK right now, where we used to offer oblations to our ancestors. The Pitra Puja would be conducted there, and from that Pitra Puja onwards, there would be 2, 3 stoppages, and finally on Ashtami, that would be the main. Like in Amarnath Yatra, we have the Purnamashi, we have the Shravan Shukla Paksh Purnamashi as the concluding day, as the main day of the Yatra. Otherwise, it starts a month earlier. So similarly in Sharda Yatra, it's Bhadra Mas Shukla Paksh Ashtami. So this year it will be again, I repeat, on 4th of September. So once we did the Keran Yatra, next we traveled to Jumagadh route, but that's so much of wildlife and very dangerous route, not well managed. So we had to come midway. Then we traveled to Teetwal. So Teetwal is a unique history, what I see. We traveled with this notion that we are doing a yatra and we are doing a bath, a holy puja right on the banks of Kishan Ganga river. Now this Kishan Ganga river all through 40 kilometers forms LOC. That's the LOC format. The Kishan Ganga river is the dividing line between India and Pak administered Kashmir or the Pak occupied Kashmir right now, what they call AJK. So there's no fencing, there's no border-like situation, there are no walls, no concertina coils. It's all open, and we traveled to Teetwal on 14th of September 2021. So there we found that I had a connection with 4 or 5 people out there in not in Teetwal exactly, but a village prior to Teetwal in between. That's the major headquarters, that's Tangdar. So we reached Tangdar. We were received and greeted in a huge manner by the locals, around 40, 50 people, who took us to a nearby army camp that's nearby on the main road, and we were well received. And even the army deputy commander also was astonished to see us. He had such a knowledge about all this, what we are doing and what the importance of Sharda Yatra. So we were greeted there, a huge reception by local Muslims out there, and we were taken in a procession down another say 15, 16 kilometers down trend towards the Kishan Ganga. That's the last village, Teetwal. Across we have a village called Chilhana. Now Chilhana and Teetwal, we have a bridge. It is the same bridge which is called White Line Bridge, where we have a white line at the center of the bridge. It's hardly 3 or 4 feet wide. It's about 150 yards or say about 500 feet long over the Kishan Ganga river. So half of the bridge is manned by Pak Army, half of the bridge is manned by Indian Army. You can't cross the white line towards the Pakistan side. So that's not workable. That's what we had seen and what we had conceived in the mind, that if Pakistan and Indian Army can exchange gifts on Independence Days or Republic Days or Eid or Diwali, armies are exchanging the gifts on this bridge. It's a very official bridge. It was constructed by Forest Department somewhere in 1890. It was inaugurated. So if that, and there are exchange of pleasantries. So what we'll do, what we thought we should do is that we go and do exchange of pleasantries to the other civilian population around. That is also in the mind. So after finishing the puja, after this reception where we were accompanied by the local Muslims. A huge reception. We did the puja and we went towards the bridge. So first time we civilians moved out on that bridge, and we expected the people from across also who are our followers connected to this mission noble cause. They had come in large numbers, but they are not allowed by Pak army to come down because they are upstream. They are on a hillock, the other side. We are at a downstream position. We are much down, about 100 uh, yards. We are away, but the geographical altitude wise position is that they are on the mountain or the hill and we are down. So that created a scene that they were not happy, and they tried their best, but they shouted, waved flags. We had Jai Sharda slogans and all that, and they shouted their own religious slogans. They really welcomed us. We have the videos from across also. We have videos from this side also. So for the first time in last 72 years, we had an event where not only armies exchanged the gifts and pleasantries, where civilians did their role and the connected people, like-minded people who are with this mission. So that's how it became. Now, during this all process, we were told by these locals as well as in presence of the army officials that we have a very ancient piece of land here which we should take over, and our community should do something about this and rebuild the temple. There used to be a Gurdwara, Sikh Gurdwara, and an Hindu Dharamshala, which was burnt in 1947. It's a very small piece of land. You can understand in such a fashion, it's about 500 square yards plot, but an heritage, most important plot, out there in an mohalla, which is called Kokar Mohalla. It's right on LOC. It's just about 300 or 400 yards away from Pakistani Rangers. So once we knew nothing about this, we knew only Teetwal is a route, it's a traditional route to Sharda. But once they were willing that they have to preserve this piece of plot and see the karmic theory there. The ones who burnt it down once upon a time, the same people down generations are now giving us that back, and we are constructing a temple out there. Now that plot was duly demarcated by revenue authorities, and of course boundary wall was put up, and we did the inauguration of that particular temple or the premises which will house same way both Gurdwara as well as the temple. Now outside that, beyond, there is a purview of army, there is a Sadbhavna project. They would like to have a small mosque also out there at a distance to make it an MMG, complete their plan of Sadbhavna, or that they have all the religious symbols out there. But this particular plot is about 500 square yards. It has about 5 marlas. 5 marlas means about 160 square yards, which is, as per revenue records, land of six. Ahle Singh, it is the revenue record wording. And rest of it is Ahle Hindu. So what has happened? It's the total revenue record says 23 units, 23 marlas. Out of this, we could only see now present position and this, because right from 47, there have been demarcations. I can't say it's an encroachment, but demarcations here and there in that mohalla. So we are reduced right now with only uh, 23 out of 23 marlas. We are reduced with only say 18, somewhere 18 marlas. So we have earmarked 5 for the Gurdwara and rest of it's for us. Now I planned a drawing and the concept that if it has to be a temple again, which used to be a wooden dharamshala type of thing once upon a time, where yatris would gather, stay overnight, 2 3 days, and then move on to this, where this wooden bridge to across to Chilhana, and the distance from Teetwal to Sharda Peeth is around 50 kilometers. Here the road, I mean, say the road map shows it's about 50 kilometers. But this being the official Chhadi Holy Mace route, so it has an important edge over the other routes, because officially this is recorded in the history across also and here also. So people may agree with me or not, but we have to stick to the official figures. So that's it. we got that land. 2nd December to 2021, we did the inauguration of that. We have the chairperson of WAC board and the national executive member of BJP, Dr. Darakshan Andrabi. She did the honors and we were there. So it was demarcated, and though we are losing about some 300-400 square yards, but nevertheless we got the major chunk of the land. We have demarcated, erected a boundary wall immediately during last winters, and now March onwards we have started the construction. Construction plan or the concept, I made it very clear from the day one that since the four designated mutts of Adi Shankaracharya are there, so I should have a temple which will have four openings, four doors with four Guru Shabds based on four Vedas, how it was done by Adi Shankaracharya Maharaj himself. So without wasting time, I informed all the Shankaracharyas, including our Kanchi Mutt, for which I have highest reverence. I bow my hat to Surasti Vijendra ji also. We informed everyone. But officially, I will say, whether anyone likes it or not, we are connected to Shringeri Mutt in three ways, three major points. One point is that our sandalwood murti of the original Sharda Peeth, which was carried some centuries back by Vidyarangani Maharaj Shankaracharya to Shringeri. It lies in Shringeri, it's still there, it exists. History is very clear, whether it's mentioned by Al-Bruni or later on clearly mentioned by Zainul Abidin Pasha about the sandalwood movement. So that's one connect. Second connect is that Sureshwaracharya Pandita ji, that eldest disciple, he has been entrusted this particular mutt. So he is a Kashmiri Brahmin, and our roots are connected there. Number three, our rulers, Maharajas, and that time Maharaja Ranbir particularly, who wrote a Ranbir Granth through Kashmiri Pandits and presented to Shringeri. But of course, some of the documents and some of the manuscripts are in Kanchi Mutt also. Kanchi Mutt, we have equal reverence as Shringeri Mutt. But the documents like this, the letter of 1915, written by Maharaja Ranbir Singh down to the Shringeri Shankaracharya of that time, in praise of Shringeri Mutt and all that, and a lot of these granths and this Ranbir Granth and all that. Now, these are lying in Shringeri, were shown by His Highness Bharati Tirthaji Maharaj himself. They preserving it, and so that's the connect where I went and tried my best, and they also showed their willingness, and I got my map concept approved by them. And the major problem which I encountered was about the murti, because now I plan a temple as per the size of the plot. The temple main garbhagriha would be 12 feet by 12 feet. With parikrama and all that, it will be about 21 feet by 21 feet. That is the allowable thing. We will have four side entrances for four mutts. Each mutt and each door will have its own, Guru Shabds, Aham Brahmasya, Aham Tattva Brahmasya, and all that. So, if the designated mutt, as per the theology, also as per our, whatever history is there, Sharda Dakshinayam Mutt is Shringeri Mutt. In west, we have Dwarka Mutt. In north, we have Jyotish Mutt. While as in this east, we have Kalika Mutt, Govardhan Mutt, and this is Kalika Mutt. This is how it goes. But the Sharda Mutt is Shringeri, so they, in fact, they consented to, not only discuss about the Murti part, Vigraha part of it, which was, I was worried because a lot of discussion whether we should have 4-armed Devi, 8-armed Devi. There are concepts and this thing. So we have also our own concept, Kashmiri Hindu concept. But overall, I thought it should be approved and vetted. So we got it vetted by Shringeri Mattam properly after discussion with Shankaracharya ji there. And finally, they agreed that they will be giving Panchaloha Murti for this temple, and they will be extending all sort of support. So the temple is finalized, and we have constructed up to parikrama level today, as on date, as I speak now. We have taken and rented accommodation in Kokarmola. It belongs to a Muslim. There's not a single Hindu or a single Sikh out there. Away 40 kilometers away, there's a Sikh village, small Sikh village that's called Tribhuwani, where about there are 100 families of Sikhs. So one of the Sikhs, we have made a construction committee member, and in consultation with the army, the locals, whatever, there's a coordination because we are sandwiched between administration, it's a militarized zone, army, as well as the locals. So we have formed a construction committee. For construction committee is a unique construction committee right now, which constitutes of three those Muslims also, which are in Teetwal, those who are doing the construction for us. It's not a management committee. I repeat again, there's a lot of confusion created, particularly by some of the Hindutva groups. I request them they should read in between the lines. It's a construction committee. You can't do construction sitting out in AC rooms and writing your own tweets and on social media. You have to go to ground zero. You are across facing at 300 yards, Pakistani Rangers. There's not a single Hindu. I had never visited Teetwal in my life. I went there for the first time. I am living in an alien land, but by spiritual, if we see the spiritual things, it's not an alien land. I belong to Sharda land. And those Muslims who are doing the construction right now, they are the sons and grandsons of the same people who were Hindus pre 1947. And this whole land was Sharda land. And Sharda Devi, as what we call in Desi Bhasha, has done a chamaka. We could never expect there is a land and will be given land back and we'll reclaim our heritage and construct a Sharda temple. Now the temple stones, again after the design, I maintained an ambience of the original Sharda Pitham, so it will be like that only, the old ambience, that type of a structure only. So we decided that the best part of stones should be used. It should be a grandeur temple, and ultimately we landed up through a consultant it towards Magadi. Magadi is on the outskirts of Bangalore. So granite stones, grey granite stones, beautifully carved, beautiful ornamental work being done. Today also we received the fourth truck to Teetwal. Unimaginable. What is the connect of south and north now? The stones are coming from Magadi. Otherwise, we have stones in. I had booked people and dressers from Athwa, local Srinagar also. But things have to happen like that. So we get the stones from Magadi, Bangalore. Those are being used. It will be a very grand temple. I am not being assisted by any government, or neither I want government to enter into this. This is a very clear concept. It's a civil society project to be done by Hindus. Guru says, Seva, service is by Tan, Man and Dhan. Even if you can't do all the three, please do at least one of them. That's it. I don't beg. I kept a clear concept that what cost I incur on this small temple, maybe 70, 80, 90 lakhs, whatever I get people, it's a bhiksha. I've gone for the bhiksha. People have contributed. People are still contributing 1,000 rupees, 5,000 rupees, 10,000, 500, whatever. It depends on their yatha shakti. I want my all followers, my all people there, that they should come forward, tan, man, and then physical, mental, as well as financial. If you can't do physically, you can't come out there and live with me in that Kokarmola where I'm paying rent of 7,000 rupees per month. I'm living there. There's no Hindu. I'm living in a Muslim house. How does it matter? Doesn't matter to me. It's Sharda land. So they are very good people. Don't take that every Kashmiri is a terrorist, every Kashmiri is a killer. There may be 10 to 15%, I repeat on every platform. They are still there. They will be there. So they will keep on disturbing the whole thing. But we have to keep our spirit alive. We have to see to it that they don't hold us as slaves. Last year also on the outskirts of Baramulla, we did our one of the Guru ashrams on Vankura Hills. That's functional right now. We are living there. So without government support, without government security, I am going there We are constructing with the help of our own people. And you will be astonished to see that a few Muslims have also donated towards the temple. And I have no objection. I don't feel any objection. If somebody, some Jahangir from Karen has given me 5,000 rupees, he has put it in the bank account. I can't discriminate that, no, you cannot and we should not. No, it's not done like that. So we are constructing the temple and we are constructing the Gurdwara as well. Now people out have started objecting me that I have paid you only for the temple. Why you are putting it in Sikh Gurdwara? Again, they are wrong. Again, they are very wrong. It's not the matter. Faiths may be different, our religion may be different, but it is the inclusiveness, the heritage. It's basically a heritage project where Gurdwara and Dharamshala would coexist in 1947. We should maintain the same sanctity and the same look and the same plan and design. So finally, here to conclude, out of these four traditional routes, I am not dropping the other routes. Let people not get confused that you are not putting towards Karen, which is the shortest. We'll go to Karen also. I am in touch with the Karen local people also. But since here we have a better infrastructure, we have better roads, and maybe some tunnel is also coming up in next 6 months, which is approved by Government of India. The overall scene is that all the four traditional routes have to be developed, and ultimately what our mission is that Sharda Peeth should be reopened. Our freedom to religion, that should not get disturbed. Our right to pilgrimage is there. It's my Guru's place. It's my Adi Shankaracharya's place, which is lying in ruins. We can't, keep on continuing like this. We have to rise to the occasion. We have to pressurize the government, and it's this pressure and what I am doing as a one-man army, I should say, that I have reached to government of Pakistan, government of POK, our own government, that you can see the recent statement of our Honorable Minister of Defense Rajnath Singh also. Now, it's a happy sign. After 1994 Parliament resolution, we are sleeping. So we are leaving the Peetham, where from Sanatana is reborn through Adi Shankaracharya. Otherwise, it was Buddhism. So no, I keep on touching this point on various platforms that you can't become, claimants that it's your land. Islam came only in 13th century to Kashmir through Shamir. Prior to that, we had Buddhism also, we had Sanatana also, we had Judaism also. So nobody can claim that they are the takedars of this religion, this belongs to this belongs to this. It's not like that. So Adi Shankaracharya ji went there, had debates with Mandan Mishra, with Buddhist monks out there, the oldest university being Sharda University. We have to explore it. The extent of the Sharda University also, it's a shared heritage. I've been telling this across also to the people, to the universities out there in POK. They have also started, they have constructed a small Sharda center out there in Muzaffarabad. So are we doing it here. Our first phase is reclamation of this heritage. That's the small plot where we'll have the Gurdwara. Gurdwara is already complete. Temple is going to be completed next 3 months. And then we'll be going to the government now that for setting up a mini university or a Sharda center, which will house all, should be a sort of a museum come library. It should house all the artifacts, old literature, scriptures, whatever is preserved with everyone. I'll be requesting everyone to please donate and come forward. Now somebody out there, for example, the Kashmiri Pandit who told me that the Abhushan, one earring of Sharda Mai, when Swamiji came in 1948, is lying with them. It's in their house. He has not parted away with that. So such things are very important, and I am working on another fact that we have a small shivling out here in Tikar, which I believe was carried from Sharda Peeth itself, because the dimensions and the size of the pranali and all that, that's exactly what matches across right now. So there are researchers out there also. I have requested Khwaja Abdul Ghani across to see, because on the boundary wall outside the Peetham there, we have the niches, which wherein we can see the size. And we have done the satellite imagery also through ISRO, but we could not know the extent of the civilization. So the finding by the scientists, I again repeat, was that there should be a GPRS system, ground penetration radar system, which will do the exact sounding system method. So I have written to POK government also, since you know we have the orders from POK Supreme Court also. We have their archaeology department orders also. But now there's some turmoil at present. I am expecting less people right now on 4th September from across. But I have requested everyone, and I request through your medium also, that people in large numbers should come on 4th of September, have the annual Sharda Yatra, and without any jingoism or any this thing, it should look like a civilian movement, and civilian movement will also help, because my slogan is very clear that cross LOC, heritage and religious tourism should begin. I want people, a few people from that side also to come and visit their religious places out to Sharif and Dargah here in Kashmir. We have nominated 2 places. So should we go to Sharda Peeth or Gurdwara Ali Beg in Bimbar, at least to begin with. If Kartarpur happens, and I had been to Kartarpur myself, I have repeated this thing so many times, that if government of India and government of Pakistan could clear me for Kartarpur, why not for Sharda? So I again repeat at the end that nowhere in any conflict zone in the whole world has prayer stopped even for a day, be it Al Aqsa Mosque, be it Church of the Turkey, or any other place. Why should it be stopped here since 1948? 72 years have passed. Now our government has risen from this slumber. At least I welcome this decision, this saying of Rajnath Singh ji, that yes, we have forgotten Sharda. It's our land. It's occupied. The oppressor should be asked. They should be in fact asked to vacate or allow the yatra, because it's the cutoff date. I again repeat, 22nd October 1947. After the partition, it was Pakistan who attacked us. That was the proxy war, and they keep on occupying our 10 districts of Kashmir. So at least the yatra should be allowed. I think during last Prime Minister Imran Khan's time, we got Sialkot Shivalaya also reopened. Then I think there was some, something brewing up for faith tourism through Dr. Ramesh Makmani, the head of the Pakistani Hindu Council. There was travel at the year beginning this January. Some pilgrims went to some place. But why this so-called what they call AJK, Azad Jammu Kashmir? There's no Azadi there. What Azadi is there? You have to seek NOC even for doing a pilgrimage. You can't stop us from doing the pilgrimage. It's Mecca of all Sanatanis, where from Sanatan is reborn through Adi Shankaracharya. We can't see our Sharda Peetham in shambles. My request is that every Shankaracharya follower, no consideration of these things, whether you belong to this matam, all mats are same. We are all down the line Adi Shankaracharya's followers. So are the Kashmiri Pandits, because I repeat again, our basic Arti, Leela, Rabda, Sthapit, Luptam, Khyaloka is written by Adi Shankaracharya, what we recite commonly in our Nityams, all the Strotams. So there should be no confusion at least. And the 4 designated mats with the 5th one in Kanchi, no other Shankaracharya or some other saint should claim, because people have started coming. Once they come to know the temple is being constructed, some people are visiting. I am the designated Shankaracharya. Somebody is saying, I am Shankaracharya, Sharda Peetham. That should not be allowed. Let's not distort history. Let's not distort our Dharam Shastra. That's very clear. We have 4 designated mats with 4 Guru Shabds based on 4 Vedas by Adi Shankaracharya ji. He had 4 disciples. That's it. So that's how we should keep on contributing and donating. It's not only money. You can come and do some work physically. People have come from Hyderabad. People have come from Karnataka, and we welcome them. Whatever space I have there, I don't have any Yatri Niwas right now. That's a future proposal. But whatever space we have, the rented accommodation, we can accommodate them there. They can cook their own food. They can have their lodging free of cost there, and people are very hospitable there. They are ready to keep, their houses open. I have seen my own construction member, Ejaz Khan. He has devoted his house fully, because a lot of people have been visiting his house and staying overnight also. He has been very hospitable. So that way, in smaller groups, we can visit, because you need to have an army permission also beyond Chowkibal in Fukwada. Now the civic administration has also come up. there's a border tourism, I asked them to make a portal. That was my request, that for anyone from India coming, any pilgrim, you should have a portal facility. So that's also functional now. DC Kupwara, you can go through the border tourism portal. You can fill up your forms there. You will be easily allowed at the TCPs and checking points, because in Kupwara it is the Chokibal point where from your frisking and checking starts, maximum at Sadhana top, then down the line one more place. So that should be eased out. And the distance from Srinagar to Teetwal, the mode of transport, I want to tell to all my followers or visitors or the pilgrims or the Shankaracharya followers, you come to Srinagar. From Srinagar, you can take a tempo or the local transport or a taxi straight to Kupwara. Please stay at Tikar for the night. The base camp, obey. Let's obey the Yatra routes and the Yatra following which used to exist. So we should stay overnight at Tikar in Kupwara. From Kupwara, we should start the next morning, and it's about 2.5 hours drive to Teetwal. And reach there, stay there for a night, come the next day again to Kupwara. If you have time, stay at Kupwara till the night. Don't have time, go directly to Srinagar. Srinagar to Teetwal is about 6 hours, so it is manageable. I have traveled myself also twice from Srinagar airport, driving myself to Teetwal. You can manage it. It's not so tough. Once the temple comes up, we need to have a Sharda Yatri Nivas, for which I think there are some parleys going on with the Swami Swarupanand ji group. Those who Swami Swarupanand ji is the present Shankaracharya, head of two mats, Jyotish Mat as well as the Dwarika Mat, the Kalika Mat. So I said, oh, it's meant for all Shankaracharya followers, all the mats. Kanchi Mat is also requested. You can come, you can buy a small plot over there, 2 rooms, 3 rooms, name your Sharda Yatri Nivas and stay there. Because if you tell me I am living in a Muslim house in Karmola, I can't invite Shankaracharya ji to please come and live with me in that Muslim house. That's not possible for me. That's also not good, or I think it doesn't sound good. So let's build a Yatri Nivas managed by any of the mats. Doesn't matter. I am nobody. I am only there because since I am connected, my inspiration is there. My guru's ashram is there. So we will be putting at the center of the temple. It has 4 doors. I again repeat, for 4 mats. At the center, there will be a circular pedestal which will have a Sharda Devi Murti Vigrah. It will be of Panchaloha donated by Shingeri Mat. Then there will be Adi Shankaracharya's Murti, as well as we have already planned that there will be Swami Nandlalji's Murti, because Swami Nandlalji is the last connected with our Sharda Peeth and the civilization. Swami Nandlalji is recorded there in the books across also, as well as from this side also. This is a book from across, Sharda Tariki Marail by Khwaja Abdul Ghani. Will mention of all this here. Then we had last year our side Raja Najar Bunyari published this book on Sharda Peeth Tarikh Aine mein. Preface is written by me. We were there. This book has gone across also. So such books do help, as well as the Mahatmya. We have the Sharda Mahatmya by late Shri Brijnath Puji. We have the Sharda Bhasha. We have the Adi Shankaracharya's all relevant documents, best possible library and best possible document. I have been visiting Kanchi. I am blessed by Vijendra Saraswati ji, as well as the former Shankaracharya Jayendra Saraswati ji. I was very lucky to have his darshan also. Many times I keep on going to Kanchi. I keep on going to Shingeri Mat also. So that's how we should try to build up this temple, which is already the model. This is the model, and maybe we couldn't show you during the program. This is also on Google, and you can Google about Sharda Teetwal, and you will find what our developments are there. So we hope next 2-3 months the Sharda temple comes up, as Gurdwara has already come up. Just the last few final touches, and so the lost heritage is being reclaimed, and this should be a clear signal to Pakistan that we are nearing you. You can't keep Sharda shut. You can't keep our Peetham shut. That's our basic epicenter. Sharda is the epicenter of knowledge, and you can't keep it shut like this for 72 years. We are nearing, and one day we will definitely cross by force this Chilana bridge and reach you. That should be the spirit. Everybody should help in this, and everybody should be very clear. Don't leave it only to the government and the politicians. I have not left it to the I have got no support absolutely from government on this issue. So it's the support of the people. So people should come out. It's the support of the people of the civil society across LOC. I have 150 members. They are also supporting me. Why shouldn't my people support me? Why shouldn't we all Shankaracharya followers in crores? Like Ram Mandir, we can't do this thing. We are forgetting the basic roots. That's most unfortunate. But I do welcome our present government statement. At least after 1994, there is some talk by the ruling party, by the ruling minister, very important minister, and I hope they do it in letter and spirit. And we see, like we have the Kartarpur reopened. If Kartarpur happens, why not Sharda? If Ravinder Pandita can go to Kartarpur, why not to Sharda? Don't keep on explaining me those things which are not acceptable to me. Our minister is saying, my own friend and a known son of the soil, minister from J&K, Dr. Jitendra Singh. He is telling me on an open platform, no, Kartarpur is Pakistan. This is POK. What do we mean by that? India and Pakistan have signed a treaty, LOC treaty. That LOC treaty permits J&K resident like me to go to POK, and POK people are coming here. There's a bus service. There are 2 routes, designated routes, Udi Muzaffarabad, Unch Rawalakot. So that's under Ministry of External Affairs. Once Ministry of External Affairs, Government of India has a treaty with Ministry of External Affairs, Government of Pakistan. So what do you tell me that is POK? That is what POK? What is this LOC? Nothing. So my Sharda Peeth will reopen, and we should keep on pressing. And through your medium, I am very thankful the rendition of my sister Guru sister, what she recited this Strotam. Very thankful to her. बहुत आनंद हो गया, बहुत आनंद हो. धन्यवाद.
बहुत आनंद.
Any questions?
Ravinder Pandita ji, you sent me a lot of information, videos, but we do not have time now. Maybe we are going to have one more sitting or more sittings as we are going to be updating. Now, I thought I just sum up what all you said. You said inclusiveness. You talked transparency. You are like a OMA, one man army. I just coined the word OMA because you only said it's a one man army. North to south connection. And the ultimate you mentioned is the Sharda temple. Correct? That is what the whole aim is all about, is the ultimate Sharda temple. That is the original temple. So, the temple that you are constructing now is a transit place, to be considered as a transit place or the real Sharda Ma temple again. How do you see that?
See, if our Sarvajna Peetham, Sharda Peetham, which is in Sharda, right now in POK, if it got closed and my Pujari from our clan, a Kashmiri Pandit designated by then Maharaja Prakash Swami Bhatt, he had 11 rupees salary and a bronze plaque as an identity card. So this is the biggest connect. So his brother Balji Bhatt is the person who locked the Sharda Peeth door and gave one key to a neighbor there and left towards Kishanganga, towards this part of Kashmir right now after partition. Now, what are our connects? What are the dots, connecting dots? Connecting dots are that, like you see, during the excavation of the present temple at Teetwal, I could find burnt Granth Sahib pieces. This is highly emotional. 1947, they have burnt our uh, Sikh Gurdwara and our Dharamshala, Sharda Dharamshala, where my Guru used to sit, where Swami Lalji used to sit, where Swami Lalji's Guru also used to sit. Where maybe Adi Shankaracharya ji is also sit once upon a time. We can't do no. That's so pious soil I am on that. So once I am rebuilding this, reclaiming this is a part of the movement. So once I am there, I am equally a part of Sharda Peeth. I don't feel any difference. I am going next week. Once I will be on that holy land, maybe there is an artificial line between countries geographically called LOC. Doesn't matter to me. Kishan Ganga belongs to me. That Chilana village also belongs to me. I have said it openly. I do keep on shouting at the bridge to Pakistani Rangers. The whole land belongs to me. How not? It belongs to my ancestors. It's Sharda land. It's my Kashmir. So spirit should be that we are constructing our side this time just 200 or 300 yards inside the LOC in our land, our Kashmir, this base camp, Sharda temple. So it has equal auspiciousness and equal importance as good as that. No, but ultimate pratibimb symbol is our Sharda Peeth, which lies there. So at least we are near, we are in Sharda land, praying to Sharda Devi, Namaste Sharda Devi, Kashmir Pravasi. So that is Kashmir, that Teetwal is also Sharda, sir.
No, like you mentioned, it's the ultimate. You're sending a message. We will be nearing soon. I think that's a word you also used. Is it possible? It's going to be possible one day that you are nearing. That is why we are very close to that border. Is it? Is it how we can visualize one day
There are
we
two
should be able
ways.
to?
See, there are many ways. Like there are diplomatic methods, government to government method. There is a military method also. But what we have done? Why we are sleeping since 1947? How can it happen that Rajnath Singh ji is saying the right thing, that Amarnath ji is here, Shiv Tattva is here, but Shakti Tattva is missing, that's on the other side of the ocean. How it can happen? But why we slept so much? Don't we have powerful Shankaracharya mutts? Shouldn't we be one? I tried my best through Prayagraj Kumbh. I am invited that time. I was there for 1.5 months with Sharda exhibition. I tried my best. We should raise a single voice that Adi Shankaracharya it should be reopened. If Sikhs have Nankana Sahib Yatra for the last 35 years, that's going on. They are going to the birthplace of the Guru Nanak. Ministry is allowing them. Full-fledged Jatha, 500 people, 1,000. Now Kartarpur is also
So,
reopened. If Kartarpur is also reopened, isn't it the same government of India and same government of Pakistan agreeing? What's the problem with Sharda Peeth? We should also, we will not go on visa. I'll be the last
now
person to go on visa. But
the name you mentioned, Titwal is Teetwal, right? From what I've done, where people were going to Shardama temple and they were using it as a resting point, correct? Teetwal, which became Titwal. Is it
actually,
the
sir,
same
there's
name?
lot of distortion of history, Shankar Sahab. We should understand this. And obviously so. Even in our part of Kashmir, see distortions of history. You can't blame the other side. It is Tirthwal. It was actually Tirthwal. It used to be a business hub. What was the geographical connection? That people from plains, from Kashi, from south, from everywhere, they used to come to Muzaffarabad first. From Muzaffarabad, they would come to Teetwal. From Teetwal, they would cross to this bridge and via Chilhana, the other side village, as I said, go toward Sharda. And there are three, four more routes, shorter routes than this also. So Tirathwal is distorted down the line to Teetwal. So similarly, Kishan Ganga, they call Neelam. Now, Saraswati River, they call Surgunnala. And astonishment that they call this Sharda Peetham also now Killa. Killa means fort. So it's me who has made the awareness. Bhai Sahab, this is not a fort, this is a temple. And through my order, through the Department of Archaeology, POK government, which I have been repeating again, 31st December 2018. I have that order here in my office also. I asked them that don't make it a picnic spot. I am watching people because I keep on doing this video method, new technology, going to Sharda Peetam every day. In fact, last 2 months prior, I was in Shingeri. I have taken Guru Maharaj also live to Sharda. Some of my member beamed it live on my mobile and heard the darshan. So what I see most of the times is that people around there, young generation at least, moving on with shoes and everything. They don't know what is sanctum sanctorium. What is this? It was me who wrote to DG Archaeology, POK government. They issued an order in my favor. This is the order dated 31st December 2018. Based on my request, they are writing. It's on website also. So they have written clearly that we'll be putting two signboards. One is this is Sharda Mandir. Second, मेहरबानी करके जूते उतार के अंदर जाइए. Please put off your shoes before entering the temple. So people should know it's a temple. It's not an exhibition. They keep on walking with the shoes up. And
It's a
later on,
temple.
I
So
tell you, the
you
27th June 2019, another order through the same department of POK. I got 37 minority shrines in 10 districts of POK under their aegis, under their purview, archaeology department. Then abrogation of Article 370 happened. So my mission got derailed. I got a lot of I have to work really very hard. I am still trying to revive because up to 2019 things were a bit moving on the track. But this time
we have. I think we lost him, or he's going to come back. I'm just showing comments received from Dr. Jnanam. Adi Shankara is the only person who established Shanmatam, but for his efforts, Hinduism would not have flourished despite so many outside invasions. He is a founder and great father of Hinduism. Um, yeah, I see another message. Teetwal is a corrupt form of Sanskrit word Teetwal, which I just talked about. I think we lost Ravindra Pandita ji. He was planning to ask a few questions, and he has also sent me very impressive presentations. Unfortunately, we don't have much time. Ravindra ji, you're back. Okay, I was just
I
showing
don't
some.
know. Yeah.
I was just showing some messages.
Okay.
From Kashmir to Kanyakumari, it is single nation. We should not discriminate on the basis of caste, creed, religion, and language. We should be one together. This is from one of our regular viewers, Dr. Jnanam. Um, there are few messages, but I think we are running short of time as always. And your coverage was quite extensive, and we did not have time to go through your wonderful presentation and photographs that you sent. I'm sure you will be coming on board frequently and updating us. Correct?
Obviously. So at the end, I would
You
request everyone, every Sharda follower, that 4th September this year is the annual Sharda Day, Sharda Divas. That is the
Sharda.
Bhadrama Shukla Paksh Ashtami. And we'll be there at Teetwal. Do join us, whether by Manatan or these systems or whatever, through Wi-Fi, through social media, whatever. We'll try to be live from there if the signals permit. And we'll try to be there around 12. We will have a bath and a puja on the banks of Kishan Ganga. So we'll be beaming it as much as possible. Otherwise, do pray for us and do join us mentally, physically, spiritually.
So
Thank
that
you.
day you'll have puja and havan. And who will be assisting you on that day? You'll have people who will
Yes,
assist you on. Okay.
we did puja last year also on the banks of Kishan Ganga, and we'll be doing puja again. Then the immersion of puja water and puja samgri we are doing at the last edge of India right now. That is the white line on the bridge. which we can't cross, then it's manned by Pakistani army. So at that white line, you can see all my photographs using Google. I have been to that place now frequently, and I am telling them, and I wish that good sense prevails, that the both sides pilgrimages are opened again, and our society as well as the civil society across uh, LOC, we all wishful that one day it should get opened. Why I am
You also
talking now?
mentioned,
Yeah,
please go
somebody
ahead.
may be pointing out that, I got certain messages that why not, why you are talking about J&K only. No, Sharda followers are all over world. I am not talking about, I am exploring the easiest possibility of going. Easiest possibility, we can't embarrass our government also by nonsense statements or nonsense actions. Easiest way is that already there's a treaty between India and Pakistan. This is called LOC permit. This is meant for J&K domicile. So initially let J&K or including Kashmiri Pandits travel till it stabilizes. Then 2 3 years down the line, the whole Jatha should go from all over India. Why not? But if that, we should exercise first this LOC permit. If LOC permit, my Muslim brother can travel to POK. Other people is coming here. There is a rider between two countries on this LOC permit. The rider limitation is that you should have a relative across. Now I say I don't have a relative, but my Asta, my Sharda, my is there. Why don't you bring in an amendment in current rules to include pilgrimages? Now our government head says, oh, it's a treaty, they will also ask. Let them ask. They should also come here to Hazrat Bal or Trar Sharif for a day. It's a 6 hours drive. They go back in the evening. Similarly, we come back in the evening from Sharda. Let it begin. It should begin like Kartarpur. In Kartarpur also you are allowed only up to 5:30 p.m. in the afternoon. Beyond that, there are announcements. You have to leave. You have to vacate the borders. So what is it? We can also vacate here within 6 hours. The shortest is this Teetwal route, where Teetwal or Keren route, we can come within 6 hours back to our land. Where is the problem? You allow few of us, the Yatra stabilizes, there is only a LOC permit. Under that, we should be allowed to go. So then,
And
once it
one more
stabilizes,
point.
yeah,
You mentioned about Merle. I just made some notes. You talked about 6 Merle for a mosque for Gurudwara and all. Correct? You mentioned it's part of the army land. You mentioned 6 Merle or something in the discussion. So is it likely others will be doing anything similar to what you are doing, like Gurudwara and all in that Titwal area?
so in 1947, a Sikh Gurdwara, small Gurdwara, and a big Dharamshala. Dharamshala is a common word in Kashmir Hindus. It used to be a temple for Sharda Yatra. So people, our ancestors from Kashi, from Chennai, from Karnataka, from anywhere now, Lahore, which used to be with us, any place would come via Muzaffarabad to Teetwal, stay there for the night or two. Then official day, this Sharda Divas, that Shri Mubarak, the holy mace, as in Amarnath Yatra, a procession would be carried as a yatra towards Sharda Peeth, do the annual yatra. Beyond that, also in the whole year, there are many yatras. Now, this Sikh Gurdwara, as per revenue records, is a small piece of land, 160 square yards, is written in revenue records as Ahle Singh, means Sikh land. So, Sikh land means Sardars. So, Sikhs have a right to be there. Now, if the army also intends or wants that Gurdwara temple as well as a mosque somewhere nearby should be there, they have the schemes of Sadbhavana and all that, MMG scheme they call it. Why should I have an objection? I have my own plot of 1947. I am constructing my own temple. We are constructing besides that the Gurdwara also, because Gurdwara used to be a part of this particular complex. So that's what we are doing. And Gurdwara, Sikhs are also contributing for that. And so the local Sikhs who are about 40 kilometers away from Teetwal, from a village called Tribhuvan, they are also attending. So let them run that. We have our own temple, Sharda temple. That's again. But I will not be putting a partition wall in between, segregating that and this. There's a partition by hedges and all that. We should not show discrimination right on the face. What is the discrimination? It's a heritage project. So Gurdwara was also there in 1947. So was the Sharda temple.
So
That's it.
you mentioned about building Yatri Niwas. So right now people can't stay anywhere there near that Teetwal area, correct? Is future plans to have Yatri Niwas.
Yeah. That is
Very
what
good.
I am
Okay,
telling again and
we'll
again.
conclude now and see you sometime soon for your third update.
Yeah, I'll see you physically, sir, once the Sharda Yatri Nivas comes up. I am very particular. We should have our own lodging facility. So our pujaris should be there. Pujari should come from Kanchi. They should come from Shingeri, wherever. We should have Sharda Pitam pujaris out there. I can't ask them to sit with me in Kokar Mola in that Muslim house. That's my way of working because I feel sometimes they are genetically my own brothers. They are spoiled. They are right now by faith. They are different. Earlier, prior to 1947, they were all Hindus now. So if you test me genetically, that fellow Teetwal fellow and my genes are same. So there's no difference. They understand that. They are well educated that way. So they have reverence
It's just
also. I tell you across
ethnicity.
also. I tell you across also, Abhi, one of my activists was jailed for 8 9 months. Once he was released, Tanveer Ahmed, he went first of all to Sharda Peeth. Why? Because if you just see his history, his grandmother was a Hindu. She was Lilo Devi. In 1947, she became Lilo Begum, converted forcibly. Now, down the line, Tanveer's mother is a Muslim, but she has not lost the reverence. One Abdul Majid Bhatt from Qatar, he is working in an oil refinery. He called me, he wept bitterly. He belongs to a village called there in Palindri. There used to be a village called Bhagwanpura. So Bhagwanpura used to be all Hindus. During 1947, they were massacred, killed, whatever happened. Now, some of them were converted. He has become Abdul Majid Bhatt. His parents were Hindus. He is 59, 60 years old like me. I am also now 60 years old. So he wept on the phone. He said, I met a person like you who is trying to revive. Sir, हमारा पालेंद्री में भगवानपुरा का नाम भी बदल दिया, उसका नाम इस्लामपुरा रखा. So these things happen. Distortion of history is there, but the genes don't go anywhere. So we should fight out and see that our own Sharda Pitham is opened and doors should be opened, bells ringing should be there. Like Sujata and Venkatraman, foreigners should be allowed immediately by Pakistan. If they are not giving NOC to me and you, but they should give NOC to US residents, UK residents, Chinese nationals. How can they ban Sujata and Venkatraman visiting here? What right they have to ban Sujata? She cannot go and worship in Sharda Peeth. Now with India, they don't. They have a policy. We are an enemy country for them. They are enemy country for us. But don't they see those people, my civil society members? They have put flowers on Sharda Peeth. They have put Sharda pictures, Swami Nandlal pictures on Sharda Peeth. Despite being Islamic Republic country, a conflict zone, an enemy country. So people want it. Civil societies are ready. So it's an eye opener for them. And we are nearing at Teetwal, and we should call the shots from Teetwal. So you will see. Jai Sharda.
Jai Sharda, thank you so much and talk to you soon. We thank all our partners for streaming this week after week and also Dinamalar that is giving great support publishing about our programs. Next week also we will have an interesting topic on Kashmir Sharda Peeth. We will see more about it soon. Once again, we thank all our viewers who are joining us and those who are joining for today. please go back and see our previous presentation, and we will have Ravinder Pandita ji coming again giving more updates. Thank you all once again. Till we meet next Saturday, same time. Jai Jai Shankara, Hara Hara Shankara.